Can everybody hear me? I don't know if it's all working fine. Yeah, it's surprisingly hard to set up. So hopefully, this is all working okay. If you can, I know there's quite a delay from me to like my screen, so there's probably an even bigger delay for you guys. So if you can hear me and you can see me okay, then just put it in the chat because it's kind of echoey. Okay. I don't really know what I can do about that. Is it okay? I sound like a robot. Cool. I don't really know why that's happening. See, I've never done a live stream before, so it is quite difficult to really set up. So it has been quite an effort, really. What about that? Is that better, or have I just turned it off? I can't really tell. Yeah, I did set it to go through just the my microphone here, but it might be coming through both. I've tried to see. It's still the same. What about that? Is that better? Okay, right. So I think that should have turned off one of the audio things. So hopefully, we should be better. Well, we'll just get started anyway. And if I can figure out how to change it, then yeah, same again. I really don't know what's happening. I've literally never done one of these before, apart from my accidental one. The other day. Same again. Right. Strange noises in the background. Okay. Okay, right. I don't know. I've done one more thing. That sounds better. Okay. Yeah, I did think about using headphones, but my headphone microphone is really rubbish. So, but if all fails, then I'll use my headphones. Okay, we've got one person saying it sounds better, so that's good. Oh, brilliant. Okay. There we go, sorted it. Thank you for your help. So we'll just get started then, I guess. What was everybody's first thought on Taskmaster Series 11? Because I really enjoyed it, especially the contestants. They, I think, made it. Okay, everyone's saying it's better, so that's great. Yeah, so I was thinking of just kind of doing this like the Taskmaster podcast, just going through each like task and seeing if we agree with what they like the points given out, because I know there are a few controversies already, so that would be cool to see what all your opinions are on that. So, and also just generally, what is your first impressions of season 11? Lovely and Charlotte, same. Charlotte Ritchie, I'm a massive fan of, so it was really cool to see her in it, and I think she's done a really good job so far, especially because she's the only like non-comedian, and there was a kind of like a chance that she could kind of be overshadowed by everyone else, but at least for me personally, she did stand out quite a bit. The rules are a bit too challenging. Yeah, I can definitely see that as well. I think there is a little bit of leeway. I think they are being a bit easier on the contestants compared to season 10, because literally everybody was disqualified in multiple tasks, and started rooting for Lee, being a big Mike fan. I've heard this is very common on Reddit and stuff, because everybody knows Lee Mack. Lee Mack was a comedian that we all really wanted to see, and I think Mike is absolutely great. Like, I love his mustache. That is a brilliant mustache, and Kendall for the win. I think she has a very strong chance of winning. I mean, she won the first episode, so that's great. And she like stole it from the last second, so that was awesome. I think she is definitely like very heavily in the chance for the winning here, because she's kind of got that same like no nonsense approach, I think she's been described as. And that tends to work, and she is doing it like a lot of the times when they tend to do like a no nonsense approach, they tend to do it a bit less funnier, but I think her kind of commenting on the fact that she's doing it very straightforward and as they say makes it funnier. So definitely. Mike singing for the prize task was brilliant. It was. I didn't know he could sing. Like, I researched all 5 of them a lot for my Taskmaster season 11 video, but I didn't find anything about him being a singer. Like, not a singer, but like being able to do music, and we've seen that twice in the first episode, so that was cool. Someone says she's not a comedian. Yeah, well, she's mainly an actress, really, but she is going a lot more into kind of comedy acting. So we've seen that with Ghosts and Dead Pixels. But I've seen her say that she's trying to get into comedy more. So I think it's definitely a good start for her, because she is really good. She's got such a nice presence. Jamali deserved the 5 points. I completely agree. We're going to get into that in a bit if you want. Definitely. What do you think of Yonderland and Horrible Histories? I absolutely love Horrible Histories. I know this isn't related to Taskmaster, but I love talking about Horrible Histories. But so loved Horrible Histories. It was like my favourite show growing up. And Yonderland I've only just watched recently, and again, I absolutely love it. They're brilliant. And I really hope we get more people from the Idiot, anybody from the Idiot 6 onto Taskmaster. That would be great. Lee and Jamali have a chaotic energy, which is fun to watch. The plate task. The plate task, I think, was the best one on this episode. It was just... it was just really good. Like, I don't know, I think it would have been funny them all collecting plates anyway, even if they weren't on hoverboards and bikes. So now that we've kind of got your general feel for it, shall we go into kind of the first task? So I feel I feel like the Charlotte's attitude is a cross between Catherine Parkinson and Mel Gedroit's. That is exactly what it's like. That is such a good comparison. That 100% agree with you on that. So the prize task. So obviously the prize task was the best thing that you can carry, but only just. which again is kind of going through the same thing that we saw in season 10, where the tasks are like, the prize tasks are incredibly specific. So yeah, so they're very, very specific prize task, but I think already it is a better prize task than the ones we saw in season 10, and people definitely put in a lot more effort. And Hannah says Charlotte deserved more in the prize task, in my opinion. I agree. I thought that was quite good. Like, obviously, I think they mentioned this in the Taskmaster podcast, but it was like all of the prizes, especially in my opinion, fit the criteria very well, but none of them were good prizes. So yeah, getting all your bedding in one handful is a tricky thing to do, but you can do it. So it's that like very much like near impossible thing. So I did think it fit the criteria very well, but it wasn't a good prize to win, but then I don't think any of them were. So it's quite hard to judge, in my opinion, because again, with the potato for Jamali, I thought that was a brilliant prize. Like, it just fit really well. Yeah, as Kiara says, I think it's pronounced Kiara, I thought Charlotte and Jamali were robbed in the prize task. I loved the not too hot potato idea, and the bed stuff isn't heavy per se, it's cumbersome. Yeah, I did find that, yeah, Greg said, well, how much does it weigh? And it's like 4 kilograms? That seems too much. Like, I don't know. But it wasn't very heavy. But it's like, just because something isn't heavy doesn't mean it's hard to carry. Like, you definitely could, it is notoriously hard to carry. So I definitely think Charlotte was a bit, kind of judged a bit too harshly. And I think that's the case, like, throughout the whole episode, really. But she took it well. Yeah. Facts about animals are stuck in my head. Yeah, it's a really good song. So obviously, Mike won with that one. Do people agree with him winning? Because I think, even though I do agree with kind of, I don't know, everybody's, yeah, like I did like the potato. Yeah, he did, the carrying the tune was something he could do, but it was quite hard. But like, as Sarah said, like, he did actually carry the tune very well, but it was hard. So I don't know, I think the prize task is one that I think is scored the best. But again, none of them are good prizes to win. They all fit it really well. Wasn't a fan of 5 points for Mike, felt a bit like favoritism. Yeah, I can see that. I think he definitely I mean, when kind of you've got somebody that's friends with Greg or Alex, they're either going to be very like criticized by Greg or Alex, and like made to do stupid things, like Mark, for example. Obviously he was really good friends with Alex. Roisin and Greg had a really great relationship, but like, she didn't really benefit from that in any way. But I definitely see Mike benefiting from a bit, benefiting from it, definitely. A lot of people seem to agree that the song was good, but Alfie the Gamer says, song good but too easy to carry for me, in my opinion. Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, I don't think I would have found it easy to carry, but if he did, then I don't know. I mean, I guess it depends on the person, really. Hot potato was more original, should have got more points. Yeah, because I've kind of gone through all of the episode again and kind of judged each one by the things, and this one was the hardest one for me to kind of pick and choose who I thought was best. So yeah, I kind of went with it. I'm not mad about any of the scoring on this one, but I wouldn't have minded seeing the slightly hot potato a bit higher and the bedding. I thought the mini fridge is good in third. I thought that was quite a good one because a mini fridge would be quite hard to carry. Yeah, I think that's yeah. For Charlie Faulkner, Wozniak and Mike and Greg were in Man Down together. So yeah, and it is like a chaotic show. It's an absolutely brilliant show. So I definitely recommend watching it if you like Mike Wozniak, because I mean, from the first episode that we've seen, he's like just as chaotic he's more chaotic in Man Down. And I've heard from people who have seen the live studio tasks, who were there with studio, apparently Mike is very chaotic, and so is everybody, and like it sounds like we're in for a massive treat with this season, which is, yeah, I'm so excited about that. Sorry, the comments are quite delayed, I think, for me, so I'm just trying to make sure I don't miss anyone's. Okay. So, task 1, I think we've already got a little bit of, well, no, not a little bit of a controversy, a massive controversy with the scoring on this task. So, obviously, the task was the most impressive thing to do with one hand under the table while you're looking in the camera and waving. And I mean, shall we just get straight into this? Jamali deserved 5 points. I mean, I've not seen a single person to disagree with that, like online or anything, but he 100% deserved full points for that, because it was the most impressive thing. He was the only person who did something successfully. So yeah, he was completely robbed on that one. Because yeah, who got 5 points on that? I think it was Mike again, wasn't it? Yeah, it was Mike. So obviously he played I can't remember the name of the instrument, I'm really bad with that sort of stuff, but he played the little tiny, not guitar, but you guys know what I mean. But yeah, so he played the little guitar thing under the table, which is quite impressive. Yeah, like playing the thing under the table, like I'm not mad that he got 5 points. I think him and Jamali could have been 4 and 5. I don't really mind which way round it is for those two, because they were both impressive. And well, when I first watched it, I was like, yeah, Jamali deserves 5 points. Like, you couldn't even tell that the tune was the Taskmaster tune. But I rewatched it, and when I knew that it was the Taskmaster tune, it definitely does sound like that. So I'm not mad about Mike getting 5, but I am mad about Lee getting 3 points. Like, that is insane. Like, if he had made a sandwich, then it would have been good. Like, just because he had the ambition doesn't mean that he actually had the result. It wasn't impressive. It was hilarious, but it wasn't impressive. Right, let's look at some comments. Yeah, everyone's saying Lee deserved 1 point, 100%. Lee's bread falling off the table was the moment I thought this is going to be a good series. Yes, same. That, I think, was a really good start to the tasks. Like, yeah, him scrambling about with the bread and the peanut butter and knocking everything off. It was, yeah, really good. Someone placed it as a theme tune immediately. Well, probably have better. Oh, a few people have said they got it as a theme tune. Maybe I just didn't. I don't know. I'm not the most musical person, so that might explain why I didn't get it was the theme tune. Oh, Alex Stewart said they've rewatched it, and to me, knowing it meant to be the Taskmaster theme did not help. Fair enough. Oh no, I'm reading Jay Green's comment. Sat your family down to watch it and they hated it. That is heartbreaking. I don't know how anybody can hate Taskmaster. Like, it's brilliant. I don't see how anybody could hate it. How do you feel about the scoring in this task and the next task? Greg seems to find it harder and harder to stick to the standard 1 to 5 scoring. Yes, he does. One thing that I noticed was that Alex has been given a lot more control over the points in this episode than they did in the other ones, because obviously in the plate task he got some control over that, and yeah, it's odd, it's different, but I quite like it that he's getting kind of a bit more control over kind of like the points. I mean, it is his show, so yeah. I don't really know. Oh, I've lost the comments now. I mean, it is a kind of, we are in like a privileged kind of place here to judge Greg's scoring, because I've tried doing this just kind of off instinct, and it is genuinely really hard. So I can understand why he's kind of going to kind of giving people 2 people 3 points each and stuff like that, because I would find it very hard. And yeah, it's yeah, it's difficult. Louis says, love Mike chose an outfit that one would wear in an interview. Lee's outfit is a bit over the top by contrast. Would be interesting if they're in the same group for group tasks. Apparently they are. I think there was an interview out that Mike said he was in the same team as Lee Mack, which I predicted in my season 11 video. So yeah, I love Mike. I thought he was going to be, because from everything I've seen from Man Down and kind of looking at some other stuff he did, I thought he'd be a lot more kind of chaotic from the start, but he's like really polite and I wasn't expecting that. Like, I wasn't expecting him to be rude, but he was just like, it's not your fault, Alex, that it's raining, and kind of like, I don't know, he was just really like polite, which I didn't really expect at all. And yeah, they would make a very interesting contrast if they're on the same team together. Karen says Charlotte deserved more points. She got, how many did she get? She got 2. I think the highest she could get was 3. In my opinion, because it was quite impressive how quickly she learned, especially because they said that it would take like 50 hours to learn how to do it. And it was quite impressive. Like, I don't think I could do it. I was going to practice, but I don't have a coin anywhere near me, but I imagine it is very hard to do, and the fact that she managed to do it after 7 minutes of practicing without looking, I think she deserved 3 points for that. I would put Lee in with 1 point. I would put Sarah with 2, because it was just giving him a makeup and it wasn't good. If the makeup was on right, if she'd done eyeliner or something impressive like that, then definitely 4. But so yeah, 1 point to Lee, 2 to Sarah, 3 to Charlotte, 4 to Mike, and 5 to Jamali. That is how I scored it, but 4 and 5 could switch because they both were impressive in their own right. Waz looks amazing in his suit. He does, especially with the mustache. Like, it is impressive. I love the geography teacher vibes Mike was giving off. Same. I have noticed there's been a couple of spamming the comments, but I don't know how to stop that. But as long as it doesn't get too much, it's okay. So excited for Lee Mack, but it was a bit awkward in the studio compared to Daisy's laugh last season. Yes, I did. That was something that I noticed, and I think there was a couple of reasons for that, because obviously with the last season, all of the people there were very kind of full of character, and that's not to say they aren't in this season, but like Daisy was very loud, outspoken. Johnny is quite loud, so taking out the studio audience didn't really make that much of a difference, because they were so kind of loud and they really kind of took over the whole studio. Whereas this season they are a bit kind of chiller, which if it had the studio audience there, I think it'd be absolutely fine. But yeah, there were some awkward moments, but I think it will get better, because if we look at the studio task, like how quickly that descended into chaos, I think it will kind of warm up a bit. Charlie says, I remember hearing people saying Nish should just sit in the studio and provide the laugh track on his own, and I think that'd be hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, Nish's laugh would definitely fill the studio. Maybe just get Nish and Daisy to sit in the studio watching it. Yeah, because one thing I don't know, it's like I watched 8 out of 10 Cats Does Countdown, and Would I Lie to You, they all had studio audiences in there. I don't know if it's just they have like better ventilation, so it's easier to do. But yeah, I don't know why they had to watch it at a later time. Maybe, I don't know. I mean, I'm all for keeping everything safe. That's 100% necessary. But yeah, other shows have had live studio audiences, so I don't know why this one had to like kind of film it and show it to them afterwards. Yeah. Are there 10 episodes this series? Yes, I believe so. I don't think they'll change it. Lee definitely seemed more toned down in the studio. Yeah, I found that as well. I was expecting him to be kind of very kind of on top with things, especially because he's worked with Greg before. Greg has been on Would I Lie to You multiple times, and they do like talk a lot on that, and kind of really really kind of mesh well together. And we didn't really see that as much at the start of this. Like, obviously they're all just warming up, and I think as the episode went along we definitely saw that happen. But yeah, oh yeah, so Charlie, did you go to the studio then? Found it weird. Why is it safer to us to sit in a theatre as a screen post live would be? Yeah, I don't get why. Like, they could easily separate it out in, like, I don't know, have half the people in. I just found it kind of like, I don't know, and they didn't seem to put the laughs in very much. I felt like the first 2 tasks were kind of slow to get going, just because we didn't really have a lot of the kind of I don't know, yeah, sorry, I can't speak. Not enough kind of laughs going on. Yeah, so I don't know. I think one thing that a lot of people were concerned about, that Lee would kind of take centre stage and control the whole thing, and I don't think that happened. I felt like we got a good feel from everybody. Yeah, you were at the screening. Oh, that's so cool. I really want to go to the screening. I think I did apply once, but I didn't get it, which is annoying. But yeah, one day hopefully I'll get to see it live. Yeah, there definitely were more laughs in New Year's special. Yeah, I was going to do a video on the New Year's special, but I think I just kind of got caught up and like kind of missed the opportunity really. But yeah. So task 2 also has some controversy. I think every task has a controversial kind of scoring. So obviously the second like proper task was catch the rat in the most practical and ingenious way. Yeah, so how did we feel about that task? First of all, I loved how scared Charlotte was of the like remote control rat. Oh, you guys would still want to see the New Year special one. Oh, okay, cool. Yeah, maybe I'll do one then. Yeah. I haven't watched the episode yet, so it might just be me, but I felt as though the bits in the studio were between the usual tasks were cut a bit shorter. Yes, I found that as well. I felt like they really kind of had so much going on with the main tasks. So the first 2, I feel like they structured it a bit differently, like a bit, I don't know. So for me, it should have gone price task, maybe one of the long tasks, small tasks to break it up, and then kind of like the long one again, because both the first and second tasks had such a long introduction to kind of the we showed them doing the task and then we showed kind of what happened. And I feel like it would have been better to either show less of what they did to start or put a smaller task in the middle so it wasn't so two really long tasks. Hannah says, to be honest, I thought the rat would be harder to catch knowing Taskmaster trickery. So did I. Yeah, like it just went exactly where they needed it to go. I thought it would kind of be kind of like what Mike did. So you have to kind of make sure you've got something that will fit the whole red green, and yeah, but it just kind of went wherever they wanted. Yeah, I definitely thought that. And let's see. Lee deserved his points, you think? Yes, I think Lee did deserve the points for this task, 100%. However, I do think Sarah should have got 4 points instead of 3. Yeah, because, it wasn't the most ingenious way of doing it, but it still worked. It still worked really well. Crevulus, sorry if that's pronounced wrong. This was a very creative task in the guise of a physical task. Yes, yeah, I think it was because the first thing I thought when I watched it is that I would be exactly how Jamali was, trying to build something really complex and then just giving up and doing something stupid. Like, that's probably what I would have done, but I would have got a lot more kind of annoyed than Jamali did. He seems very chill. Yeah. You found Charlotte's method surprising after she was so scared of the rat initially. Yeah, so did I. And even though she did 100% deserve to be disqualified, I thought it was a really good way of doing the task. I thought it was brilliant, but obviously, she should have been disqualified. But I also think Jamali should have been disqualified on this one because he was on the red-green. And it's surprising that he was the one that pointed out that Charlotte was on the red-green. Yeah, so that I think Joannie should have got disqualified. Yeah, catch the rat sounds like running around, but actually wanted the most creative solution. Yes, well, it's Charlotte's first instinct when it was catch the rat was to start running after it, and yeah, I thought it'd be that kind of thing. Yeah, I think it would have been. Obviously, I really enjoyed the task anyway, but I feel like it should have been them chasing the rat, kind of like the one in season 4 with like the chickens trying to get the chickens or the dogs onto the red green, like that kind of chasing it around, trying to come up with solutions to get it onto the red green or to catch it. Definitely, I was expecting kind of more like mousetrap things. Yeah, like more intricate things, but I guess that was quite hard to do in half an hour. So I think the bathtub worked really well, which is why I think she should have got 4 points for Sarah. Yeah, a lot of other people are saying Jamali should have been disqualified. Casey Hook said should have had Alex do the grabbing from under the carpet. Yes, she probably would have. Yeah, she probably would have won if she had just got Alex to do, because it was ingenious. I thought it was great, especially with like, rats this way, cheese this way, whatever she said. I can't remember, but yeah. They could have brought out 10 decoy rats if it was a physical task, just to throw them off. Yes, that would have been funny. Yeah, definitely. So they're all running around trying to find the right rat. Yeah, I like that one. You quite enjoyed them baiting the rat. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, I saw some people on Reddit said that both Mike and I think just Mike should have been disqualified as well, because when he actually caught the rat in the trap, he was like right by it. But I think the trap came up when he was 3 meters away. Yeah. And also I think who was it? Sarah had a really good idea to use the measuring tape as the kind of string to pull it, because then she would stay 3 meters away. I don't know if that's what she meant, but yeah, I thought that worked really well. I'm definitely for Sarah getting 4 points on that one. Let's see. Okay, so I think that's everything I wanted to say about the second task, if anybody has any more thoughts on that one. Because, yeah, I have no idea. I was trying to think of ideas of what I would do for all 3 tasks. Because I think there are quite difficult tasks. Oh, Alfie the gamer, you don't understand why Charlotte losing apart from the bit where she went on the red-green. I think one of the rules was that you had to be 3 meters away from the rat once you caught, or 3 meters away from the trap when you caught the rat. So she was obviously right underneath it, so she wasn't 3 meters away. I think that's what the rule was. So obviously Jamali should have been disqualified as well, because he wasn't 3 meters away when he caught the rat. So yeah, that's why she got disqualified, and why Jamali should have been disqualified. Kelly says, I do have some beef with you on your overall rating video of the contestants. Yeah, a lot of people do. That is the video that I've got the most dislikes on. People did not agree with me. How did you not give Mal a 5? I thought I did. Did I not give Mal a 5? I thought I did. Well, if I didn't give Mel a 5, I meant to. No, I'm pretty sure I gave Mel 5 points. I wonder if it's the same red green as in season 2. Absolutely iconic item. It is iconic. Yeah. Move the tables with the plates. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I think they had to be on the bike, the scooter, or the hoverboard while they were moving. So if you're moving the what's it called, the table, you're obviously moving the plate. So you'd have to try and do it while you're on a bike or a scooter. I think the reason Jamali didn't get disqualified was because they couldn't see his hand. Yeah, they are. It's very tricky, that one. But yeah, I saw another comment I wanted to respond to. I don't think you gave Joe Lysy 5 points either. No, I don't think I gave him 4. Yeah, no, a lot of people disagree with me with the Taskmaster ratings. I was thinking of redoing it, but it was kind of done on points and how much I enjoyed them. So some people I kind of had more points because I enjoyed them more, and some people I took off. But anyway, it's just a silly video anyway. But I think honestly any contestant could get up to 5 really. I think it all depends. I figured if you move the tables, then struggle the bike while just moving the plates over to the other table. Yes, I think that could work. I don't know how much quicker it'd be though than moving the plates, like wrapping it up. I think wrapping up the plates with the tablecloth is a really good idea. So I think that is the best idea. Obviously it didn't work with Jamali, and I don't know why he didn't stop and literally just pick up the rest of the tablecloth so it didn't all keep falling out. But I have no idea. I have no idea why he didn't stop for literally 1 second just to put the thing up. But yes, someone said they liked Charlotte's energy, and I agree. Charlotte's energy was amazing. Do you think the lack of an audience will affect the atmosphere more than it did last season? I think last season it was easier to kind of get the audience feel because I don't know, as we said before, like the contestants were a lot kind of more loud and outgoing, but I definitely don't think that we're going to run into many issues. I think they're definitely going to kind of bond a bit more and kind of really ramp up the energy. But it was quite a low energy start to the first to the series. Joseph says, I agreed with most of your video until you dissed Sian Gibson. Yeah, I do regret that. I rewatched season 8 and I absolutely love Sian Gibson, so she would be right up there now. I don't know why. I was feeling extra harsh when I made that video. But, you know, I do really like Sian Gibson now when I rewatched it. Casey Hook, if I remember the wording of the task right, I think you might have been able to move the table during the... Ah, yes. Move the table at the beginning because you had 3 minutes. Unless they said anything. Yeah, no, I think that would work. I don't see any reason why not, unless there was something on the task that said they couldn't move the plates or the table until that 3 minutes was up. I don't know, but yeah, no, that's a brilliant idea. I think you would have won. It's a bit of a gamble, as you said, but yeah, low energy until they were hurling metal buckets at each other. Like, Charlotte's throw was absolutely amazing. Okay, what was I going to say something else about these. Mike on the hoverboard was the best episode. Best task in the episode. It was genius. I thought it was amazing. You was worried that Mike would drop all the plates. Yeah, so was I. Like, there was one bit where he really wobbled, and I don't know why, but I thought hoverboards went a lot faster than that. I don't know why, but I genuinely thought they would. Maybe, obviously, it was his first go on a hoverboard, but I thought it would go a lot faster. What would you all choose out of the bike, the hoverboard, and the scooter? I would choose the scooter because I'm not the best. I'm not a massive fan of bikes. I don't know why. I'm just not. I don't know. I'm not very good at stopping them and stuff like that. And I wouldn't choose a hoverboard because I guarantee if I was on that hoverboard, I would fall over with all those plates. So I'd go for the scooter. And it was quite a fast scooter. It was like an electric one. I saw a comment I wanted to respond to. Favourite series outfit. I think I quite like Mike's just a suit. I think a suit kind of almost not dishevelled, but kind of like an old looking suit works really well. It worked with Joe Wilkinson, so I think that's always a good shout. I like Charlotte's dungarees. I think that's a good choice. Boiler suit with Sarah is always a good shout. A lot of people have done boiler suits before. A lot of people are saying scooter. Scooter. Although you could essentially walk while sitting on the... Oh, yeah, I guess you could. Just kind of not use the pedals. Yeah, no, I think that would work. I'm not sure how fast it would be, though, with that. But you could definitely maybe put the plates on the handlebars. Most people are going scooters. I would go for the bike and try to showboat kind of like Sarah. Try to wheelie with a plate, do some slides. Yeah, break some plates. Definitely. You'd have to... Yeah. I'm surprised no one else broke any plates apart from Lee Mack. What are your opinions on Lee Mack for this one? Do you think he should have got 5 points or should he gone down to 4th? I'm torn. I think the juggling plates are fine because it was kind of like if he can. But so the whole thing was deliver it to the table. And he did say time, stop the clock before the plates fell, but the plates weren't on the table. the plates weren't on the table, so they weren't delivered to the table, but it didn't say deliver them on the table. I think it is quite difficult. Yes, he did drop a plate. Oh no, I meant to. Someone says, how do you get removed? I'm trying to remove somebody. Oh, I don't know how it works. Clock had stopped, 5 points was fair. He stopped and then they dropped. Yeah. Charlotte saying we got me in so much energy. Yes, I definitely. Yeah, Charlotte is an absolute joy. Like, she was just so delightful. I think he was within the time, sneaky but deserved. Okay. Yeah, okay, so everyone seems to see. Yeah, so when I watched it for the first time, I was like, nope, he shouldn't get the points. But then I rewatched it, I was like, well, he did say time's up and then dropped it. Yeah. Yeah. Well, fair enough. Yeah, he did say stop. He did say to stop the clock. Yeah. What was that comment? Your brother said that they wanted Lee Mack to win because he's the most famous. So if Charlotte did this, then it would have a different outcome. Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I don't know, because it was Alex's choice, really. Alex got the choice for that one, which is the first time Alex has decided who gets what points. But, yeah, yeah, I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I think definitely the juggling ones are fine. But yeah, the one, I think he did say stop the clock, so I think it's risky. Let's see. Most if Crevulous, sorry if that's wrong again, but why should the stop clock before it's delivered? If Uber Eats shows up at your house but hasn't given you the food, it's not delivered. Yeah, I guess it's kind of, if we're going to go with the Uber Eats analogy, then if they bring you the food, say there's your food, so they've delivered you the food, but then they drop it in front of you, then you haven't got your food. They would be liable for that more than you. I don't know. I'm not too fussed about that one. Contestants shouldn't get to decide when the stop clocks. That's a fair point. We didn't see Alex stop the clock, so yeah. Yeah. I don't know. He didn't win the episode, so it didn't really make that much difference to the score. But yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say, really. Mike should win the series, so then it would look funny to the fans because he would have won twice. Yes. Yeah, I think it would be cool for Mike to win again. Personally, I'm happy with anybody winning. Obviously, only seen the first episode, but I think everybody has put in a good amount of effort. Nobody is kind of like slacking, really, because I know Jamali said that he put in minimal effort, but I definitely felt that he I think he did quite well. Like, obviously not points wise, but he definitely did quite well, I think, in my opinion. Like, he put in enough effort, I think. Yeah. Noah Smith says, Charlotte reminds me of Alice Levine, but her jokes don't quite catch on. Yeah, there was a few moments where Charlotte kind of said something and no one else responded, and yeah, Scott says, I wasn't expecting Charlotte to be entertaining, but to be honest, she proved me wrong. Yes, I personally love Charlotte Ritchie, so I was expecting her to do quite well, at least for me anyway, because I like her. But yeah, she was very entertaining, and I think she just has a really nice positive energy about her, which I think is always nice to see on this type of show. And Mike was on the first ever Taskmaster, the Edinburgh live show. So the first one that Alex did in like 2009 or 2010, I think. And it was very different to the Taskmaster that we know now. It was like 20 comedians, and they did tasks like, I think one was give Alex the most money or something like that. So unpopular opinion, I did not like Alex getting to decide the points on that one. Yeah, it was odd. I think it's just because it's something we've never like seen before. He's always the kind of one getting told what to do. So I think it was odd, but I'm not too fussed about Alex getting more control over the points. But I think I don't want it to kind of ruin the dynamic. Like, obviously a little bit of things now and then, but the whole dynamic is that Greg is in charge. He's authoritarian. He's, you take no shit from Greg Davis, and then Alex is kind of his little assistant. Noah Smith, who is your least favourite contestant ever? People are going to hate me, but mine is James Acaster. That is an uncontroversial opinion. I don't know who my least favourite is, because, I don't know, my opinion kind of changes a lot. Because as I said, like I put Sean Gibson at the bottom of my rankings video, but I rewatched it again, and she was like, she's joyful and lovely and funny and awkward, and she was like amazing. She was brilliant. So I feel really guilty now putting her down there. But I don't know, maybe I think someone that kind of didn't live up to my expectations was Ian Sterling, because I really liked watching him on CBBC. So I was like, when I was young, he was like one of the hosts. So I was like, oh my God, it's like my childhood, like, on Taskmaster. And he didn't quite live up to what I wanted. But I don't think anybody's my least favourite. Robert Brooks says, so far the contestants don't seem to get on with each other, especially in comparison to Series 10, where they were all in stitches after a few minutes. Yeah, I think it is just the case of they are quite different people, but I think they are going to get more and more into it, I think, especially because like we'll go into the studio task now, but they were like absolutely chaotic in that one, which, yeah, that was quite good. And I think, I don't know, they had that nice energy there, so hopefully that's something we see throughout the series, and hopefully when we get to the kind of the team tasks, we'll get a lot of kind of more banter between them. Someone else said that their least favourite is Phil Wang. I love Phil Wang. But Asim Chowdhury is pretty weak. Yeah, I quite liked Asim though. I think he had quite a nice energy. But getting Alex involved was funny to me and added a lot of tension to the decision. Yeah, it was very tense. I didn't expect him to get a choice really, but I think it worked quite well. I think once we've seen the team tasks, they'll get a lot better. I agree. I think they will definitely get a lot better. I mean, onto the studio task. So I do have a question for you guys about the studio tasks. So it's obviously studio task was stack the buckets up until they're taller than you, then put a beanbag on. And yeah, that sounds like a surprisingly difficult task. Because I was like, oh, just like stacking buckets, that should be quite easy. But like they were so uneven. So it was surprisingly difficult. And I think we saw that as well. Like people were struggling to build their bucket towers, before they all started kind of throwing the beanbags around. I mean, obviously Sarah 100% deserves 5 points. She did it brilliantly. I think there is a possibility for Charlotte to get a point, because it was stack the buckets, and I don't know, do you think putting 2 buckets on, I think it technically counts as those buckets being stacked. It's taller than you and putting a beanbag on it. I think Maybe not giving her 4 points, but maybe like 1 or 2, because yeah, like I did think it kind of worked. Yeah, what do you pick? Alex says justice for Charlotte. Yeah, I would have done it exactly like Charlotte, putting a few buckets over my head. Yeah, I definitely think that could have worked. Like, I would have given her a point. Do you reckon it's boys versus girls on the team tasks again? I think it's going to be, well, I think Mike and Lee are on the team together. I'm not sure whether Jamali would join them. I don't know. I think, I don't know. I'm a bit unsure. I think it would work with kind of boys v girls. I think that could be quite good, but I think it's going to be Mike and Lee on a team, and then the other 3. Head stack totally should have worked. As much as I like it, I don't think those buckets were stacked. I don't know, because if someone says stack these buckets, I think that would be something like putting them in. I don't know, it is difficult. I'm not saying she should have got 4, but I think maybe 1 or 2 I think she should have got, definitely. Jay Green says, if you could pick one of the Idiot 6 to appear on Taskmaster, who would you choose? That's difficult. I think I would choose Larry. I think he'd be, well, any of them would be great, but I think Larry would be brilliant on it. Someone says, I think the buckets on her were higher, not taller. Okay, yeah, that's a good point. The buckets weren't taller than her, but it was higher. Yeah, I see where you're coming from that one. Do you think it would have worked if someone sat down and stacked them? Because that was my first thought. Oh, so you're sitting down, so the buckets go taller than you. I think that could work as well. I think that's a really good way of getting around it. I mean, I don't know how tall they all are, but they're definitely taller than me, so I might have a bit of an advantage with that since I don't have to get the buckets as high. Lee, Mike, and Sarah could work too on a team. Yes, I think that would be a very good team, actually. But then I don't know whether Charlotte and Jamali. Actually, no, I think Charlotte and Jamali would be quite funny on a team together. First instinct with that task was stack the buckets low and then crouch. Yes, that is something I didn't think about. I thought the bucket on the head was a good idea, but yes, I think that would count, unless they kind of be a bit pedantic with it and be like, well, it's not taller than you, but I think it is taller, especially if you put your hands on your hips, then yeah, I think it would count, definitely. I kind of hope it's oldies versus the youngs, because it's always fun to see the different ways people do it. Yeah, I think that always works. Like, I really enjoyed it on the first season with Tim and Frank together. I think that worked really well. Team Charmali has a good ring to it. It does. I do like Wozniak and Lee Mack. I think that works quite well. As for group, I would like more of the 4v1 tasks. Yeah, they've only done that a few times, I think, haven't they? I think it's definitely a good idea, although, I don't know, sometimes it can mean the points are a bit unfairly given, but like with Phil's one in season 7, where it was like get as many white dots on the board, because I don't think he got the points for that, because yeah, but I don't know, it's quite hard, especially because Jess didn't do anything and she got points for it, but yeah. Any of the ones where the first half of the task sets up the second half for another contestant? Yes, I think those tasks are really funny. I like the tasks where it's like a trick task, and yes, Phil was robbed in that, I agree. But yeah, what was I going to say? I've completely lost my train of thought with that one. Oh yeah, tasks that trick you. So with the boiler suit task, I think was one of the best tasks they've ever done. The exotic sandwich one was brilliant. I think they have uploaded a compilation on YouTube of like tasks that trick them. I can't remember what the title of the video was, but it's on the Taskmaster YouTube channel. Yeah. Joseph Chambers, Richard Osmond wasn't a comedian. If the New Year's proved anything, they don't have to be comedians for the show to work. No, I completely agree. I think obviously with comedians you kind of have a better chance of it working, but I think just the general kind of tasks as a whole, I think they work with non-comedians. I think it'd be cool if they did kind of like another kind of one, like maybe for I don't know, like Stand Up for Cancer, or like a comic relief thing to kind of get maybe quite serious people doing it. Yeah, I think it would work very well. Noah Smith just says, I always think people are too harsh on season 6. I rather liked it as I knew every contestant. See, I was the complete opposite of that. I didn't know anybody apart from Tim Vine, and I kind of knew Alice Levine, but I didn't know them, which is probably why I'm not as enthusiastic about season 6. About special tasks, I hope we do see them, but again, in the Taskmaster podcast, I think they said that the reason we've kind of lost the special tasks for a bit is because people were expecting that they were going to be the only one to do that task. So they obviously wanted to kind of remove that expectation. Hopefully there'll be some in this series, but I don't know. Yeah, I don't think there was any in season 9 or season 8. I might be wrong with that, but there's definitely none in season 10. But I'm not 100% sure. I can't even think if there's any in season 7 apart from the 4v1 one. What's my favourite tasks? Oh wow, that's a big question. I think I could do a video where I choose my favourite task from each season. I mean, that would give me an excuse to rewatch them all. But yeah, I do like season 6, as people are saying. But yeah, I mean, there's not a series that I don't like. With Taskmaster, I think that's something that is so amazing about the show, is that I don't expect there to be a bad one. But obviously some are going to have comedians that I prefer and going to, maybe have a bit more inventive tasks. Like, I think that's why I like season 7 so much, because I knew every comedian going into it, and the tasks were all really good, which is why season 7 for me is the favourite, because I mean, I love James A. Caster and Rod Gilbert, like, it's brilliant. Best special task was totally from the New Zealand series, where the brother of the assistant guy had to do a maths test. That was a good task. My favourite task from the New Zealand series was the outfit task. If you've seen the New Zealand series, then you'll know exactly which one I'm talking about. I think it's one of the best tasks that has ever been created. It was genius. Facts About Animals is now on the Taskmaster Reddit. Yes, I will definitely be listening to that. I think it's definitely up in there as best Taskmaster songs. Definitely. Yeah, no, it is unusual for a show with as many seasons to not have a bad season. It does come back to our favourite Taskmaster, to our favourite comedians. Yeah, I think definitely, which is why I think I am going to really enjoy this one, because I knew 4 of the people going into it. The only one I didn't know is Sarah Kendall. But yeah, and I really love, like, 3 of them. Jamali I was not unfamiliar with, but I knew who he was, and I'd seen some... I saw some of the kind of... Oh, what was I going with the sentence? I need to stop reading the chat. I keep losing where I'm going with my sentences. Yeah. I'd love to see the New Zealand outfit task and national anthem task in the UK series. Definitely. I think there was a thing with the New Zealand series, though, where they had to come up with their own tasks. They weren't allowed to reuse them. So I imagine it's kind of the same reverse-wise. So New Zealand aren't allowed to take any tasks from the UK, and the UK aren't allowed to take any tasks from the New Zealand one. Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that. Don't quote me on that, but I think that was part of the contract that they had. Tree Wizard is easily the best Taskmaster song. It's definitely up there. I'm trying to think of the other ones. There was the ones from season 7. There was one of my favourites is Rod's Little Match Girl song. I love that one. I mean, it's not really a song, it's more of like a dramatic poem, but yeah, I think that was one of my favourites. I think it was absolutely amazing. I'm trying to think of other songs that they did. Oh, of course, Nish and Mark's one, and Rosalind's and Nightmare. Those two that is one of the best the best tasks they've ever done. It was absolutely amazing. Alex Stewart says, if you aren't familiar with Sarah Kendall, highly recommend her episode of Richard Herring's podcast, that is, isn't that? Yeah, I need to watch that. I've listened to a couple of Richard Herring's podcasts, but I haven't listened to that one. I'll definitely give it a look, give it a go. Yeah, people are saying either Rosalind's a Nightmare or I'm Always Seeing You Do Cool Stuff as the best song. I'm torn between those two. If it was me in that decision, having to give one of them 5 points and one of them like 4 or 3, I can't remember, I would have to give both of them 5 points, because they were both they were both good. One was a nice heartwarming song and the other one was just absolutely hilarious. So I don't know, I can't decide out of those two. They're both 5 pointers. Yeah, so overall, I think we are in for a very good series. I think it is going to be really, really good. And I think, I don't know, as we've said just before, it's like, I don't think there'll be a bad series of Taskmaster, like ever. But yeah, I think it's going to be really good. And I think the contestants are going to warm up because, we obviously haven't seen the team tasks, so I think we'll get some banter from that. And I think that we are going to get some, not arguments, but kind of the type of thing we saw in season 7. I think we're definitely going to get something like that. Maybe with between Jamani and Lee. I think those two might butt heads a bit. Thank you. Thank you, Casey, for joining us. Bye. Yeah, I think we're definitely going to be in for a good series with this one. Hopefully they kind of just maybe add a bit more laughs. I'm not a fan of adding laugh tracks to things, but I think there just needs a bit more kind of I don't know, a bit more studio environment. I think it's just that's the only thing that's lacking in the first episode. It's just there's not quite as much studio feeling to it. But I think hopefully that will improve as we get along, because there is so much greatness about this season already, so I can't wait. It's strange because you guessed Charlotte and Lee for this season. That is impressive. I'm really bad at guessing. I just normally go with people I like and who I'd want to see. Robert would love to see Alan Davis on Taskmaster. I think he'd be very good. I love Alan Davis. He's brilliant. I'd love to see him on. Who would I like to see for future series? Ooh, a lot of people. I did have a list of people at one point. I would like to see David Mitchell. I think he'd be really good. Or his wife, Victoria Corin Mitchell. I think even if they're on the same series together, that'd be cool. But I would definitely like to see them on it. I would like to see... my dream contestant, which is absolutely it's not going to happen, but I'd love to see Olivia Colman. I think she would be amazing. Her roots are in comedy, so I think she would just be so good. Robert Webb I would like to see as well. There was somebody. There's loads of people I want to see, but I can't think off the top of my head. There's one really obvious person that I'm missing, but yeah, Bill Bailey is a good shout as well. Love Bill Bailey. It's gonna bug me now. There's somebody like right on the tip of my tongue that I can't quite think of. Noah Smithson's only 4 more seasons after this one. Yeah, that's 4 more that they've got contracted. I reckon if the viewership is still up, they'll definitely get it renewed. Definitely. Rob Brydon would be good. That's another one. Rob Brydon would be very good. I think. Sean Locke as well, definitely. I think he would definitely play kind of like a grumpy role on it, and I think that'd be really good. But yeah, Rob Brydon I think would be good. You know, throw in a impression task and he's won. Or yeah, he'd be consistently doing impressions, and I think it'd be quite funny. Jack Whitehall, yeah, I think he would work quite well. I'm not the biggest fan of Jack Whitehall. I think he is funny, but sometimes he can be a bit much. But I think, I don't know, get him and his dad on. That would be great. I'd love to see that. I'd love to see, what I want one time is maybe for just like a special one, like kind of couples or like partnerships kind of thing. So like David Mitchell and Victoria, I think that would be quite a good one. Or maybe kind of Jack Whitehall and his dad. I think, you know, when there's like couples, but not, they don't have to be like relationship couples, like father and son, brother sister duos, that kind of thing, I think would work really well. Everybody I'm seeing in the chat I think would work really well. Richard Ayoade would be really good. I feel like though he's got that kind of, I don't want to, not like, I don't know how to say it, like when he's on 8 out of 10 Cats, he's kind of got this I don't want to be here attitude, which is funny, but I don't know whether I'd like that on Taskmaster, because everybody wants to be on Taskmaster. I think he would be good though. You'd love to see Jack's dad on it, yes. I think it'd be really good. There are loads of people, like I think it is one of those shows that can just have anybody on. Miranda Hart. I'd love to see Miranda Hart on it. That was who I was thinking of, because she is silly anyway, so I think she'd do really well. Yeah. Right, I think that is all the things I wanted to talk about. I hope you guys have enjoyed, because yeah, it was an effort to set up, but if you guys like this, I would definitely be up for doing this again. I'm not sure kind of how I would do it, like when I would do it again, because I'm coming up to like the big point of my university degree, so I've got to kind of do that. But I'm definitely up for doing more live streams, because this was a lot more fun than I thought it'd be. Not that I didn't think it'd be fun, but it was a lot more easy to kind of talk to you guys. It's a very good kind of like discussion thing feel to it, which is what I wanted. So I'm really, really happy about that. So I don't know, we can do more live streams about a specific topic, or we can just kind of do like a chill chat kind of live stream. But yeah, I've had a lot of fun doing this. Yeah, and it should be saved as well. I think I've got it to automatically save, so it should definitely do that. Alex Stewart says, Ayoade's a bit hit or miss. He can be awesome, but his appearance on Unforgivable was not good. Yeah, I did tune into Unforgivable, a few of the episodes, and I did see him on that, and he was just kind of very, again, he kind of had the attitude that he didn't want to be there, which I know is kind of his like shtick kind of thing, but I like people having fun and enjoying what they're doing, so sometimes it can be a bit kind of yeah, I don't know, a bit off-putting really. But I do really like Richard Ayoade. He's an absolutely brilliant comedian. I love in the last series they all helped each other, and in this series they were just savage in the live tasks. Yeah, that was such a surprise because nobody else was like, yeah, just going from chill kind of almost like an awkward kind of small talky kind of thing to just absolutely like chaos was such an amazing end to the episode. Like, I was laughing so much, especially, like, I can't get over it. Charlotte's throw at the Mike's bucket was absolutely amazing. Like, yeah. Like, I thought someone got hit in the head with one of the beanbags at one point, but I don't think they did. But, yeah. Right. It's been an hour. It's been over an hour, I think. So I think that's going to end the live stream. So, yeah, Lord of the Flies. It was very Lord of the Flies. So yeah, I've had a lot of fun, and I am definitely... Charlotte really turned in the live task. She did. I think we saw the true side of Charlotte. And then she was like, oh guys, what are you doing? Like, she didn't just one-shot Mike's bucket. So yeah. Bye. Thank you so much for people joining in. I didn't think I'd get this many people watching, so that's really, really cool. Yeah, it was really nice to talk to you all. Hopefully we can definitely do this again. I'm not sure when, but yeah, hopefully we'll get to do this again soon. Thank you so much for tuning in, and yeah, I will see you in the next video or the next live stream. Yeah. Okay, bye guys. Thank you again for tuning in. It is really appreciated. Bye.